Brandon Moreno, France. Guys, those dudes are good. I mean, can we just stop there? Should we just stop there? I can't make you be interested in them. I can't force that. There was a rumor many years ago that the 125-pound division was going to be sold. Allegedly, the way the story will go, by guys like Dave Meltzer, who will repeat absolutely anything they hear without confirming it, Henry Cejudo saved that. Took that back, and the division's here to stay. Now, in all fairness, we have had some really interesting guys come through. What Moreno did with the tie-in to first Mexican-born chip, big deal. What Figueiredo did, just by having interesting hairdos and sunglasses, right? But I mean, it was still something within the division. And now you've got France, and I must tell you, France versus Moreno is a rematch. The first time they fought, they were both very unpolished in comparison to they are now. Not to mention it was a close fight. I'll just give you an example. Moreno won the fight. But if you look at the stats, France did more and should have won the fight. Now, however you want to score that, right? Because it comes down to damage and not necessarily who did more. But it was 62 strikes for Brandon Moreno, 78 effective strikes for France. Fight went to Moreno. Unpolished, here we are to get it. And I only set that stage because most of us don't know that. I was unaware of this and had to be told on social media, at which point I had to log into my Fight Pass accounts and go watch the fight. Full admittance. Now, they were great. They were two great guys. The only thing I don't want to happen, and this is just Chael the fan, I don't want to see Moreno versus Figueiredo again, and I won't. I couldn't watch their third fight, right? I already seen them out there for too many times. This is for me. They then went and did 5 more. Now they're going to be scheduled for 5 more rounds. I'm not going to be part of it, but you don't want to be. I went on Twitter because they did a face-off afterwards. The face-off was painful. The face-off guaranteed they won't be a main event. But guess what? People on Twitter pushed back on me. One guy said, the fight sells itself, point blank. Another guy asked a question, Chael, is it okay with you that all I care about is the fight? I mean, he doesn't care about the drama. He doesn't care about the talk. It's not my opinion that fight's enough. The first time they did it, it was a main event. They've done it 2 times since. It has never returned to the main event. That's a very fair point for me to bring forward. It's also an analysis that you can't get anywhere else. Nobody will bring that. And I don't feel that you should push back on me. And I don't feel that somebody that's on Twitter, when I tell them I'm going to make a post-fight show and I'm accepting questions and they ask me a question, is it okay if I just enjoy the fight? Sure, that'd be okay. But you don't. Because there's no fight on Twitter. And the post-fight show that I referenced that you submitted your question for, there's not a fight here either. But you're watching, and you just got your question answered, and you're going to ask one next time too, but you also just learned something about yourself. You don't just care about the fight. So these two decide they're going to have a face-off. And Moreno wants to appear to be a nice guy. Now, he openly lets the world know, I'm not, I want to look like one. He tells the world, here's Davidson, here's what I'd like to do, but my daughter's at home watching and I want to set a good example for it. Fair enough. I thought it was a little weird to telegraph that what you're about to say is completely insincere, but fair enough. But what example did you set? You're a bloody, partly dressed cage fighter, setting up another bloody, partially dressed cage fight. If the example was how to be the best, that world championship, that big, beautiful gold belt, which represents the second one that he has, an interim and an undisputed. If the example was how to be the best and go unnoticed, which is very hard to do. But if that's the example, they've succeeded. And again, before you flame me and tell me what a jerk I am and tell me I'm alone and tell me I should go watch WWE, but before you do that, how about we agree that it's not an opinion? We agree it's not an opinion. that I am telling you now, they botched that spot. But if they get a main event and you told me I'm wrong, you win. I come back and I apologize. But if they don't get a main event, a world title fight going into the fourth meeting that just had an organic face-off on pay-per-view, if they don't return to a main event, you admit that I'm right, the spot was botched, and the only example set is what not to do in the business of promotion.